It has been 6 months since we last spoke in my last video, and so much has changed. And now I'm back to make some more videos. Now, I can't make any promises about the frequency of these videos, and I'll get to that in a second, but I'm quietly confident that I can commit to about a video a week, which is a hell of a lot more than the last half a year. So, going back about 6 months, I was working at a hospital. I was saving up a lot of money, working a lot of night shifts, and obviously I was running my channel, and I believe my last video I was talking about how I had just returned from Okinawa and Tokyo. Well, about 2 months ago now, I started or bought my own business. So I am now the proud owner / operator of a martial arts school. It is a lot harder than I thought, but it is also, on the positive side of things, about as amazing as I thought it would be, in that I'm being paid about the same amount of money that I used to make doing security to teach people how to defend themselves. It hasn't been easy, but I have loved every second of it. Managing a team of instructors, managing students, I would say that the martial arts side of things is what I'm most comfortable with. But in running a business, you also have to deal with a lot of people, and it is the people part that often, I believe, it's not something that I struggle with, so to speak, but it's something that, when I compare my skill in that to, I suppose, my confidence in the martial arts, there's certainly a contrast. I I want to extend my thank yous to everyone who saw the little teaser video last night and checked in. Frankly, I've been putting off making this video, and I can already hear my girlfriend making fun of me, because she'll often say, well, when's the next video coming? And I've kind of been dragging my heels, if I'm honest, for a fair bit. I hope you guys can understand that running a business with employees, with clients, making sure wages are paid, making sure that services are delivered, it is taxing. And while I'm working, probably, and when I say working, I mean instructing, but while that is probably only a fraction of the amount of time I spent working when I was working at the hospital. The thing about a business is that it requires admin. It requires cleaning, which sometimes I neglect. It requires so much paperwork, just mountains and mountains of paperwork. So I hope that you will forgive my tardiness in releasing another video. I appreciate everyone's patience. Another thing that has struck me as very odd, and sometimes I'm not sure just how much to say on these videos, because I know that at least one or two of my students watch these videos, and maybe even some of my instructors, I don't even know, but I've wanted to run my own martial arts school since I was like 19 or 20, and it's like for nearly 10 years, 6 years or 7 years, I've been just fighting and fighting and fighting to make this happen. Investing in my skills, training, putting in the hours to make sure that I'm an effective instructor and an effective leader. And of course, working really, really hard and putting away a lot of money for capital to buy a business. And of course, well, I'm a bit of a gamer, and I used to explain it to my partner this way, that there's a video game called Mass Effect 2. And over the course of this game, you have to make choices. You have to build a team, and you have to earn loyalty and respect. And the entire game builds up to a crescendo, where the sum of your choices is reflected in the ending of the game. If you haven't earned loyalty or respect, or if you haven't built your team enough, you haven't invested into your skill set or your ship, then people die. It's an incredibly big ending to a very long game, and I love it. It's an awesome story. And I would often compare that final mission to my girlfriend to me starting this business. It's like everyone I meet, I could see them becoming involved in some way. I could see me assisting them. I could see them helping me. And after just years and years and years of planning and saving and more planning and more saving, sacrificing so many nights out or time with my family or my friends, it's like I did it, and then it was like, whoa, now what? I've only just recently sort of broken out of this weird winter hibernation stupor that big win has sort of brought on. Because I was eating junk and I was sleeping, 11 hours a day, forgetting appointments, missing things, feeling burned out, and not really enjoying some parts of my instructing. And it's like just now I finally stepped out of the cave. And these things are never linear. But I think that at least the worst is over. I've begun waking up at 6 a.m. I've started a new martial art called Krav Maga, which I train at another club doing. I'm doing jiu-jitsu 3 times a week. And soon I will be moving out into my first kind of away from the nest home. And once I feel I have gotten a better hold of my sleep pattern, I'm definitely going to invest more into prepping meals, running, maybe lifting weights, I'm not sure. Anyway, enough about me. What do you guys think of me? That's a lame joke my mom always says. But with all sincerity, I hope that this video finds you well. Last night, as a bit of inspiration, I was reading through a lot of old comments and finding new comments that I hadn't read before on some of my old videos. And it was a good kick. Sometimes you sort of just need that little push to get you moving again, and the support that I have from my subscribers is just great. And I'm hoping that with your help and with your support, that we'll be able to reach 3,000 subscribers. It's not very far off. Now I know that me soliloquizing and giving you this huge diatribe about how interesting my life is quite self-aggrandizing and egregious and boring, if anything. It's tedious to just hear about me, so to the level that you're comfortable with, I would love to hear from all of you. Send me a message, Instagram or YouTube, or leave in the comments. Let me know what's going on. What are you loving? What are some of the obstacles in your way at the moment? What's happened in your life in the last 6 months, good or bad? Something that has really stood out to me upon reflection in the last 6 months or so, scratch that, even just in the last 2 months, is that the overwhelming support of some of my close friends, people that I train with or train under or that I train personally, and sometimes a mix of all three. There seems to be something about relationships that are forged in the fire of hard work. Like two swords that get beaten on the same anvil. There are people in my life, well, put it this way, recently I found I was spending too much time on my phone, and so to remedy this, I did something that, or I rediscovered something that I didn't really do much when I was a kid, or since I was a kid, after I discovered video games, and that was, I went to a bookstore and I bought a fiction book. Now, for a long time, since I was in high school, all of my reading was non-fiction. And yeah, every now and then I picked up something, last year I read Ready Player One and The Hunger Games and things like that. But I went out and I bought, of all the relaxing topics, It by Stephen King. And there's something about the way that Stephen King writes, in particular, and I noticed this in his book Stand By Me as well. He perfectly encapsulates the feeling of being in a youth, in a group, in your youth, that naughty, well, the bonds of friendship between young boys when you're 10, it's something that sticks with you forever. And I know that sometimes I would get very down because I would remember these times very fondly that I used to have with high school friends and primary school friends that, truth be told, I just drifted away from. I was into martial arts and fitness. They were into video games and socializing and things like that. And over the course of time, people just grow apart. But as the saying goes, to tie this all together, your vibe attracts your tribe. And in the process of starting my martial arts school and training in lots of different disciplines, I've surrounded myself with lines of the same pride. And as a result, I feel like I'm deeply, deeply happy in a different way than that youthful group feeling that Stephen King captures, but in a way where I feel like, as a piece of the human puzzle, I sort of have sunk into my place. It would be stupid to assume that things will stay this way forever, because things change. But I'm not a finished product. But I feel like the product is in the right direction, at least. Anyway, if you've stuck around this long, and if this is your first video with me, then welcome. And as usual, I will see you in the next video.